Hey, everybody. So I am super excited to be doing this fun interview for you all today, all of my awesome blog followers. And today I get to interview the amazing, incredible, and wonderful Livy Jarmusch, and I am super excited to get to do that. We are trying this cool new thing where we get to video call through Zoom, because you can record video calls through Zoom, and we have no idea what we're doing. So
we've had some technical difficulties, hence the reason that you guys are staring at my ceiling right now. The best place I can get Wi-Fi. I'm afraid to move the screen, so you guys are just going to have to deal with the ceiling fan.
Yep. But it works. I told her we still get to see her beautiful face, so it's all good. But I'm super excited to get to do this. Livy is getting ready to launch a super cool new program that we are so excited to tell you more about today. So I'm not going to get ahead of ourselves. We'll get there. But I've got some fun interview questions for her. And so I'm ready to just dive right in if you are, Livy.
Yes, totally.
Alrighty. So first of all, I would love for you to just introduce yourself to us so that all of my blog followers and readers and everyone watching this interview can get to know you better. So invite us into your world and tell us a little bit more about who you are.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for doing the interview. I'm super excited. Bella and I do cheerleader sessions all the time, and so we always have a blast talking to each other, but this is just fun. We thought it'd be fun to connect more with her readers with you guys. So hi to everyone. My name is Livy, and I'm in my mid-20s. I am an author, singer, songwriter, blogger, website designer.
She does it all.
Things, yeah. I've got my hands in quite a few projects, and I love it. So I just have a variety of things that projects that I've been working on. I have a couple Christian fiction books for teen girls, and I've got some nonfiction books, and yeah, just all kinds of fun stuff. I blog at livylinblog.com as well as hollywoodlassie.com, and I don't know, I just love writing and sharing and taking the gifts that God's given me and just using them to encourage you guys and uplift you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
I love it, and I am so proud of who you are and all that you do for the kingdom of God. Livy is a pretty incredible person. So Liv, what has been the hardest part of your writing journey, all of these writing things that you've done? What has been the hardest part?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the hardest part is just the mental stuff, the mental game. It's like you can have a gift, you can have something that God's called you to do, but then you struggle with those doubts and feel like it's not good enough, or comparing your writing to other people, or wanting to be further along in your journey than what you actually are. And I think really at the end of the day, it all comes down to the mental, the way that we're thinking about things, and whether or not we're looking at things from God's perspective, or if we're getting caught up in looking at things from the world's perspective. Because when I look at things from the Lord's perspective, I know that this is what He's called me to do, that He's given me the gift to write, and I can be confident in that and know that I'm just a human and I'm growing and I'm not perfect, and that this journey of growth is a really good thing. But then when I get outside of God's way of thinking and I start comparing myself to other people, or wishing that I did better on this or that, or had more followers or more sales or whatever, that's where I can get off track. So at the end of the day, I think it's all about your mindset and about seeking the Lord and putting Him first in everything, especially in our writing and in our careers. So I would say that's probably the hardest part, is just staying focused on His perspective and not letting any of that doubt or insecurity or comparison come in.
That is so true, especially for writers, because as writers we can get so caught up in what we're doing, and it can be easy to listen to the lies or the doubts. So I love that encouragement that you shared. So sort of going off of that, what has been the most rewarding part of your journey with your writing?
Ooh, that's good. The most rewarding part, there's a couple things. I actually talked about this a couple days ago. I did a little Q&A video on my YouTube channel, and someone asked a similar question, like, what's been your favorite part of your writing journey so far? And I kind of had to divide it into categories. Like I said, there's like the writing part of writing, and then there's the releasing and connecting with people and marketing and all that fun stuff. And so I think the most rewarding part of writing is just that. It's just that process of getting to be creative and sit down and have fun. And like every time I get better, like every time I can see that my skills have improved, it's really exciting, like just to see that growth, like to look back at older projects and to see how I've improved and how my characters have gotten stronger, my characters are changing, just things like that is really fun to experience. When your characters feel so real, you don't really have to do the work anymore. Like they do the work for you. They just like show up and write the story. I think it's really fun, super rewarding. And then it's just connecting with people. I just love talking to people and hearing back from them. And anytime I get like an email or an Instagram message, or even just like looking at Goodreads reviews or just anything where people are truly enjoying the stories, like it just makes my heart so happy. And that's why I do it. And that's why I keep writing, because of you guys. So yeah, that's definitely my two favorite things so far.
That's awesome. And if anyone watching has not read Livy's books, you totally should, because you will totally see what she means when she says that her characters feel real, because after reading her books, you're going to want to live in Tarsarella. So how did you begin to establish your presence online as a writer, and why was that something that was so important?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's kind of interesting. I feel like I sort of did things backwards. Like I never really intended, when I started blogging and started getting involved on the internet, like I never really intended to create and release fiction. Like that wasn't my priority when I started. I started back in 2013. I started Crown of Beauty magazine, and that's actually where Bella and I met. We got connected with that. But I just started a website because I was fed up with all the negative messages that the media gives to girls about not being beautiful enough, not skinny enough, not, rich enough, not whatever, just all those not enoughs. And there's so many negative messages that, girls are just bombarded with. So I wanted to provide something different. I wanted to do something very similar to what Bella does with her King's Princess magazine. I mean, it's the same vision, the same sort of idea about talking about your royal identity in Christ. So I created that website in 2013, and the Lord blessed it so much. Like he brought so many girls and young women along to be part of that journey and to read and to write for it. And it was just like an amazing time of growth and networking and connecting with people. Now, what I didn't realize at the time was that it was setting me up so nicely to be able to release a book. Here I thought I was just blogging and networking and just sharing whatever I could with people, but God had some more plans, even bigger than what I was expecting, and it just worked so perfectly, because when it came time to release the coronation, people were excited for it. People were hungry for it. Like they knew me, they knew my heart, they knew kind of what I was all about. So it wasn't weird for me to come to my audience and be like, hey, here's a book. Are you guys interested in it? Like they were excited about it, versus on the flip side of that, if you don't have like any connections online, if you haven't been blogging or posting on Instagram or connected on social media, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, everybody, I've got a book. Like, first of all, there might not be anybody in your everybody. Like, you might not have anyone who's listening. But then also, people, that might just be kind of strange for them, like if they're not seeing you already as a writer, or if they're not seeing you as someone who encourages them or posts devotionals or things like that. And so I think I want to make sure I'm answering the right question. Your question was how I started the platform building, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't like totally going off on this major rabbit trail.
You're good.
But yeah, so I started a little bit backwards. I started doing what I was supposed to be doing without even realizing that's what I was supposed to be doing. And so on the flip side of that, now all these years down the road, I can see how valuable and how important that is. So that's something that Bella and I like always encourage young writers, especially like if you're a teenager. It's like the perfect time to start building your platform. It's a perfect time, even if you just have projects, even if you haven't written anything, you just have ideas and you love the idea of being published someday. Like now's the time to start building your platform. Like don't wait until your book is done. Don't wait until you're published. Like you need to start working on that now, whether you choose to go traditional or self-publishing. Both of those, like your platform is so important. And so so I started with a website, and I would definitely recommend that every aspiring author have a blog or website. Like, it's so important. And even if you are active on Instagram and things like that, that's wonderful. But it's really great to have a place that people can come and sign up for your email updates and just truly stay connected with you on a more frequent basis than just your Instagram posts. So yeah, that's what I did. And that's definitely what Bella and I encourage others to do as well.
Absolutely. And if you're a young writer or blogger or author and you have no idea where to start with a website or a blog, Livy also does that. She builds websites for people. You can check that out on her website. But so out of all the things that you've done to help build your platform, Livy, what has been the most successful way of building your platform?
Yeah. So I was thinking a little bit about that because someone asked me that the other day. And that's a really big question because I don't see like one big thing that I've done. Like, I feel like it's been so many little things and so many just consistent steps and so many moments of being faithful with this project and that and that and that. And it's like, I feel like oftentimes as writers, we really want to just like find the magic sauce, so to speak. Like, we just want to find like that perfect thing, that guide that's just going to skyrocket us and get us to our goals. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the pins on Pinterest that are like, you know, get X amount of followers in 30 days, or how to become a best-selling author overnight, or things like that. And it's like, there's truly no, like, sure that you can find good advice on Pinterest, and some of those things will have little tidbits you can pull out, but there's really no formula. There's no like one size fits all of this is how you do it. This is how you build your platform. This is how you know, if you use this website, then you're like guaranteed to, you know, reach this amount of followers. Because the tricky thing is that all of our social media platforms are constantly changing. Things that worked for people last year are no longer working this year. Even last month, like with Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest, they're always changing their algorithms. And so you really can't, once you figure them out, and lots of people do, like if you've ever Googled like how to master Pinterest or how to master Facebook or what's the best time to post on Instagram, like there's always going to be different information because those things are always changing, like literally every month. And so to say, like, I can tell you what I did back in 2013, that doesn't work anymore. Like, honestly, the things that I did back then, I've tried to do them again, like completely, you know, they were so fruitless. Like, it didn't mean anything. And so you really have to just keep growing as things change over time. Like, you have to stay very flexible, and like once you find something that works for you, like be consistent with it, but then be willing to move into something else. Like, once Twitter dies, you know, like don't feel like you have to keep killing Twitter. Like, if the horse is dead, don't keep hitting it with a stick or whatever that saying is. That's probably not the right saying. But you know, it's like, if it's dead, just like, you know, move on to these other platforms where there's growth and things are happening. Not saying Twitter is completely dead, but I'm just saying, you know, that's something that I used back in 2013 that just like exploded things. And nowadays I do not have the same success with Twitter at all. And so it's just, you know, things change over time. But yeah, so you just have to, it's not one big thing. It's lots of little things. And I think that's why it's really helpful to get advice from, you know, various places, and not just take one person's book or one person's method and be like, this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I love that, because it can be so easy to get caught up in the big things, but to focus on the little things that all add up into big things.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that you've been waiting for. And I had to throw in my Greatest Showman quote there. But this is the moment where Livy gets to tell us more about her Fire Starter program. So go for it, Livy.
Okay, super excited about this. I started working on Fire Starter last year, January of last year. So like, this has been a long time coming. It was really hard because I didn't talk about it very much because I didn't know when I was going to release it or what the fullness of this idea was. At first I was like, I just want to make a video series. I just want to make a 20-day, like I thought about just doing it on YouTube, like a 20-day video series about how to launch a blog or website, because that's one of the main questions I get all the time is like, how did you start your website? How did you grow it? what tools did you use, what platform? And those are all great questions. And so I was like, it'd be so great if I could just make some videos and share that information with people. But as I started working on it, it just kind of snowballed, and it turned into a full-blown course where I created printables, and I've got discussion questions and like so much information. I kind of went overboard a little bit. Like I literally walk you through, I walk you through starting your website all the way through like a long-term plan into earning income from your website, which is something that a lot of bloggers desire to do. Not everybody wants to, but it's like if you're going to even be investing money in like your website, because starting a website does cost money, like you want to get things back from your investment later on down the road. So it's hard for me to even express everything that's in this program. It's 20 days of just everything you could possibly want to know about blogging.
That's awesome. I am super excited about this program. I'm super excited for the people who are going to go through the program, because I know you have so much valuable wisdom and insight, and you have put so much into this. And it's not just something, like you said, you sort of went overboard in a way, but I'm not even sure, like that's an awesome thing. Like that's a great thing, because it's not just something people go through and watch. Like they actually can interact and do
definitely.
like interactive things.
Yeah.
And that's what's so awesome.
Yeah, and we also like that was one of the things that I wanted to make it like a community, you know, because so often you can, like, if you're just reading the book about something, you kind of get stuck, and then you're like, well, where do I go from here? But it's like we have a community of people involved with it, and it's like I'm always an email away. So if you're working on something and you're like, I don't know what to do next, or this is really frustrating, like even if you don't hire me to work on your website, like I still love to help you. Like, you know, if you have a question about something or a template that you're working with, like please like email me. And I know how hard it is to, you know, work on these projects on your own. And so I really wanted to create something. Basically, it's everything I wish I would have known when I started blogging. Like I just kind of started blindly, you know, I was just like, I want to change the world. I want to start writing. I want to create this magazine. And I just sort of started playing around. And only by the grace of God did I learn and figure out what I was doing. But through that process, I've learned a lot of, you know, the ropes and things that are so important for bloggers that most people just wouldn't know, you know, starting out. So yeah, that community and just that one-on-one help is so important.
That's awesome. I love it. So what exactly was your inspiration behind launching this program, or why did you specifically decide that this was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think really the inspiration was just what I said, like everything I wish I would have had. Because like I mentioned, I have so many people who have asked me about blogging and who do ask me for advice. And I love those questions, but then I'm like, where do I even start? Because there's so much information that I could just like dump out right now. And hence the reason, you know, turned into this 20-day series, because there's so much more. Like even when Bella and I when we do our cheerleader sessions, like we're able to give information within that hour Skyping session, and it's always good, but it's like there's so much more, and we want to go deeper and we want to share so much more. But I really think this is a way for, you know, for you to go deeper and for you to learn more than just like what you would learn in a cheerleader session with Bella and I, where that's, you know, good information, but it's like, we're not going to sit down and talk to you for 20 days straight. Like, wouldn't that be cool if we could, like, to coach you for 20 days? So it's like, that was kind of the idea that I put into this of like, I want to be with you for 20 days, like give you these videos every day and just encouragement and all of that. So yeah, I really think the inspiration was just understanding from personal experience that it's not easy. It's so easy to give up blogging. It's so easy to get discouraged. Like technically you run into technical issues. Statistically, you're not getting the numbers, you're not getting the comments. Like you pour your heart into a post and then you just get crickets and nobody replies. And you know, there's a lot of things that you have to overcome even mentally with blogging in order to keep moving forward. And that's one of the first things that we talk about on day one is knowing your why, knowing why you're blogging, and like helping you to create a strong focus statement so that in the future, years from now, when you're like frustrated with something, you don't give up and you keep moving forward because you understand your why. And that's something that most bloggers are not really going to think about. Like you're just going to start your blog and be super excited and just put it out there. And then a couple of months down the road, you're going to forget why you even started it in the first place. So just things like that, you know, really help you solidify your purpose.
That's awesome. So I have a question that I didn't have written down, but it just came to me and I wanted to ask you. What would you say is the number one rule for blogging or starting a blog?
Okay, so that is a great question. My question back to you is like, what would the purpose be? Because I feel like there are several different styles of blogs and reasons that people blog. Like if you're specifically wanting to, let's say, become an author or like market your books, you're going to do things differently. Like I'm just talking about fiction specifically. You're going to do things differently than you would if you are a nonfiction author who is writing like devotionals, encouraging posts like that. And then you're also going to have even yet a different style if you're like hoping to really monetize your site and be like a fashion blogger or a YouTuber or an influencer in that capacity. So it's like, I feel like depending on what your focus is and what your purpose for blogging is, that really makes a huge difference as to like what the most important thing would be or what the reason would be. So does that make sense?
Yes. That does make so much sense because it's so true. It always depends on what your vision or what your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I feel like that's part of the reason as to why a lot of bloggers struggle, because maybe they're like wanting to be a fiction author, but they're taking the model for a nonfiction author and they're trying to apply it to themselves and it's just not working, or vice versa. So I think it's important to know like there are different strategies for growing those different things, and you're not going to do the same thing depending on you're like, it's like if you're going to, like, you have different destinations, you're not all going to take the same road to get to different places. Like you have to take different roads to get to those completely different, because they are very different even in what you focus on as you're building the site. So
and so I'm assuming that in Firestarter you help the people going through the course, you help them discover what exactly they want to be doing, right?
Definitely.
So there you go, people. If you want all of Livy's secrets on that and exactly what you want to be doing, you have to take the course. So I have one last question for you, and it's a fun and it's a silly question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. If you could invent any ice cream flavor in the world, what would it be?
Okay, so this is going to sound weird, but what if you had, this sounds really weird, but somehow, like, I don't know, I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so what if you had potato, like French fries, sort of, I know, hold on, but when you think about when you have fries with ice cream, like how good that is, what if you somehow did like a salty ice cream potato-y it sounds really weird, but I feel like it would taste good. And then have like the little chocolate in it with like something that feels like a French fry, sort of.
So if Livy ever opens her own ice cream shop one day and she sells this potato ice cream,
it sounds so gross, though.
You guys are gonna have to comment in the comment section of this post or this video and let us know if you would try.
Yeah, or if I'm the only person. Just imagine potato. It shouldn't even be called that. It should be called like French fry cream or something. Like, think more French fries, not like potato chips, like a salty. I don't know.
We're gonna call it the French fry cream ice cream.
Okay, yeah, but if you really, if you really want to take it up a notch, you could do like Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Yes.
Like that sort of flavor.
With
Maybe we need to talk to Chick-fil-A.
What?
Yeah. Oh, and then we could add like the lemonade in it too. So then it's like you're getting the lemonade and the fries together.
Yes.
Okay, we might be onto something. I think Livy and Bella are going to launch a new business. Forget cheerleader sessions. We are going into the ice cream business.
Yes. You have to comment and tell us which flavors you want us to create next.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Livy, for doing this interview. Thank you for having fun with me. Congratulations on launching your Firestarter program. Anybody who wants more details on how you can get it, yes, Livy, tell them where they should go.
Oh, you can go to livylynnblog.com and you'll find all the information there. Oh, but we almost forgot to tell them about the giveaway. Wait, did I tell you about the giveaway?
No, what giveaway?
I didn't tell you about the giveaway. So bad. We're doing a giveaway, okay. And this is super funny because the giveaway involves Bella and she doesn't even know. So to celebrate the launch of Firestarter, we are doing a giveaway of a free cheerleader session.
Yay! You get to see both
It's so
of us.
funny. I forgot to tell you, Bella, that's what we're doing. But yeah. But yes, so if you want to win a free cheerleader session and talk more about the stuff that we've been talking about, like even if you're not comfortable talking to us face to face, like if you don't like video chatting, which I mean, we're very harmless people. Like we would love to talk to you, and we're very, yeah. So like even if that's uncomfortable, like consider stepping out of your comfort zone, you know. But if that's like really just not what you want to do, we also can do it like over email or whatever as well. So anyway, if you're an aspiring author, blogger, or if you've been blogging, writing for a long time and you're just kind of looking for some fresh encouragement, like totally enter the giveaway because Bella and I would love to do a session with you. And I think you can enter for that. It's also on my website. All you have to do is sign up for my email updates. So once you sign up, you're completely entered, and then we'll be announcing the winner at the end of February. So yes, super excited.
So go sign up. You want to go sign up so that you can possibly win some time with the two of us. So, awesome. I'm so proud of you, Livy, and all you're doing, and we all wish you a big congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone else is very proud of you too. So thank you guys for watching, and go sign up for Livy's updates and go learn more about her Firestarter program.
Bye, guys.
Bye.